to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done.
Typically, that's true. But we're not living in typical times. We're living in times where females weaponize the same system that's against us all, that's in the same boat, against the man or the male that's in there attempting to do exactly what Brother Denzel just spoke of. And what then? You know, I was in my second son's life most from before conception up until he was an adult. I'm still there. It's just I don't tolerate the nonsense. But he actually made a rap song as he was, growing, in the public, stating that I wasn't there. Fuck my pops, and I wasn't there, which is a lie. I have documentation of chronological order of pictures of between him and I, from the time he was still shitting on himself until he walking around with his pants hanging off his ass, throwing gang signs and doing dumb shit. And when I talked to him about it, he's like, "Oh, pops, it's just a song." I'm like, "No, you're lying to your public. You're lying to your followers. You're starting off wrong. That's bad karma that you got to deal with later on."
They're not locking up 7-year-olds.
Well, it starts in the home. If the father's not in the home, the boy will find the father in the streets.
Again, typically, this is primarily true. Um, and I believe I told a story about me looking up to various guys that I've seen growing up in, throughout the neighborhoods that we lived in. But I wasn't looking for a father. I was just looking to, I guess, be around something that looked great to me. A man and his child, his children, and his girl, and their cars, and their things things of that nature. Because I knew where my dad was. Despite all of the negative things that my mom was saying about my dad, I knew where he was, and when I was old enough to explore, hell, even before I was old enough to explore, I was, I guess you can say, searching, seeking for him in the areas that my mom had given little clues about. And when I met my dad, in my opinion, he was a shit. He might not have been shit to her, but as a young man, with the him needing his father, he was a shit, and he didn't do much, but he took care of me much more than what my mom said he would have done. So there's that.
Yeah, I saw it in my generation and every generation before me and everyone since. It starts in the home. If the streets raise you, then the judge becomes your mother, and prison becomes your home.
For the Black community, this is a wake-up call. We need to sort out this issue as soon as we can by emphasizing the role of fathers in our homes. Strong present fathers provide stability and discipline, which helps kids grow up with confidence and a sense of direction. We must support programs that keep families together and create more mentorship opportunities for our youth by encouraging responsible fatherhood and high.
Here's my good friend Tim. He is a scrap metal guy who has a family. As you see, his son is there with him as they go out exploring and what society may deem, society as well as females, women, what have you, deem the dirtiest, the filthiest, and the nastiest places on earth. But here, what I see here, it's the same thing I saw when I was a young man, is a father and son doing father and son things no matter what it was. That man was providing guidance to that boy, and that boy was there willingly. He wasn't talking about is it time to go. He wasn't stuck on the iPad or a phone, talking about he hot, tired, and complaining and things of that nature. A lot of things that this guy is doing and this young man is doing which is who is a genius, by the way, because I've spoken with him many times. Um, a lot of things that they are doing, I used to do alone, or but the brother under me would go, and we would go through alleys and collecting, cans and bottles and throwing rocks and breaking bottles and just doing things with as young men, would do, with or without direction. You're still going to be a child as a child, and teen as a teen, etc. It's important. You both are gonna make my YouTube channel. I'm gonna put you on my YouTube channel. Now, this oil can applicator is something that I used to see in black and white TV, such as Three Stooges, maybe the Andy Griffin Show, and I've always wanted to see one in person, and I found one at the art gallery that I'm at. In other words, seeing this thing on television as a boy and now fighting on it as a man. I wouldn't say it's a bucket list thing, but it is, kind of, sorta.
No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot.